My general thoughts on Georgia Calls is that it's unique. I don't really view Georgia Calls as a corporate job. You know what I mean? Per se, I actually view it more as a personal job because actually what it teaches me is that it teaches me work, but far as self-work, far as self-development. You don't really realize how many personal problems you actually have until you're in a situation to view yourself from the outside. And stepping out of the box that I'm very used to. Being here, they allow me to see the weaknesses that I personally have. And what it does is it teaches me that my problems or the situations I go through in life are actually my fault. So I actually view it as actually more like a rehab. That's really what it is. It's more even the work we do with taking the calls, and I didn't realize how much of my memory that I have, that I needed to work on, because I was always in a situation where it was nothing really to remember. The things that you go through, it ain't really worth remembering. And, so even when taking calls, my articulation, dealing with people, it teaches me areas of me that I actually got to see more flaws about myself that I wasn't able to recognize because I was around so many of them. So I actually view it more as like a rehab. What I like most about Georgia Calls, outside of lunch, I actually enjoyed the people here. And believe it or not, the people that they actually have here, I believe is perfect here. Just talking to them, because it's so useful to have a conversation with some substance. Talking to the people, it's family people. So it kind of like when I talk to them, it gives you like this warm feeling. And it's like it kind of reminds me of home, and that's really what I'm missing. So I actually enjoy the people here. I actually enjoy the time. It's almost like being around a family, and that's really what I miss. That's really the gap inside of me. I really miss I really miss my family and time like that, and I'm around here around family people, family-oriented people, and talking to them and the conversations and the things that they do from their own heart, from their own families, and I really appreciate the people here. GLS classes. GLS is really a beast. GLS classes are really they are actually like the specifics. They actually pinpoint the problems in my life. It actually helps me deal with the situations. I still have a lot of work. It's only been here about 2.5 months maybe. But the GLS classes are actually like an instinct. Because it's like, a lot of times when you're going through stuff, the main problems we have in life is like our choices. And what GLS class does is help me to pinpoint more options when I make a choice. So it's like I have an extra conscience on me. It's like, okay, you have a good side and a bad side, but then it's like, okay, now I'm in a predicament where I have a good conscience, a bad conscience, but I actually have a main conscience. And it's like my main conscience is like the judgment between the two. It's like it says, look, this, that, stay here. So GLS class is really, man, it's really the focal point of, really the focal point, because it involves your thinking, and that's really where the problem begins. One of the incidents that occurred, actually, this is on several occasions. But GLS class, it has been teaching me to work on is dealing with the officers. I have a problem with rules and command. And this is the officer's job. To follow rules and give command based off the rules. I always had an area about me where I was rebellious to officers. Even when they were doing, they're just doing their jobs, I always had a thing where I was rebellious towards them. I say smart things, or I give them attitude, stuff like that. So, but dealing with GLS class, it dealt with my perspective, and it allows me to see that a problem is only a problem when you see it as one. So I started to learn to view situations that, or things that the officers do as it's not a problem. It's actually the officer doing his job. And then I'm starting to view officers as not officers, but as people with jobs. So it's like I learned to respect officers as human beings instead of like this negative view that I had is just officers being officers. I actually understand them as people with jobs. So what that did, it actually helps with our relationship, because with me showing respect to them while they're doing their job, it actually makes them have respect for me, and it makes my time a lot easier. When they do the shakedown, sometimes you come out, you might come out with a cake or so, you know what I'm saying, cake or something, something like that. And and he was like, he was shaking us down. He was like, "Then you can't have this cake. You ain't supposed to bring no food in here. You can't have the cake, blah blah blah." So I was like, I'm looking, it really wasn't nothing, no issue, but it really was like I was just mad 'cause I felt like the officer was just taking my stuff, So I took it really, and I was like, but at the same time, before I reacted, I had to just be like, this ain't the first time this happened, for one. Two, I understand why it's happening. It isn't just him. It's actually him trying to be better at his job. And I had to think about it. I said, you know what? It really isn't that bad. I actually respect him because he's doing his job. And you respect the person when they're good at work. So I had to view it and say, you know what? It isn't him just trying to be mean or nasty. He's actually trying to be better at his career. So I actually, when he was doing it and taking it, I took and said, you know what? I said, I apologize. I said, I try to make sure I don't do that no more. And it changed up just from viewing it from a different point. And at the same time, he was like, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and have it this time. And it was odd how that happened. I see the world a lot differently now, because one, I get to see it more. But I see it differently because I actually understand that where I end up at in this world is actually my responsibility, and determining if I get there or not is based off my choice, is my decision. I actually understand that in this world, I have the ability to go where I need to go, or where I desire to go, So where I end up at in this world is totally on me, and that's my view now. It isn't the environment that's holding me back; it's actually myself, So it actually taught me to change my perspective on who to blame. The blame isn't on no one around me. The blame is actually on me. It's my responsibility. So this is something that I have learned. What I have learned from being in the call center, I have actually learned that genuine people still exist. I actually learned that people aren't really mad at you, and this actually helps me out dealing with GLS class, because people will call me and be like, I had told you I sent my they call me with their problem. And, at first I used to be like, why you mad at me? But it taught me that, the person, it isn't me that the people are mad at. It's their situation that they're upset about. And that helps me deal with people now. Because from being at the call center, I realized from dealing with people that call on the phones, and I'm actually getting better at learning how to take a person's negative approach and be calm and respectful about it and get positive results. And that's helping me deal with people on regular occasions. Because when they call with attitudes and and negative approaches, I learned to stay humble, stay calm, speak to them, and talk to them with respect. And a lot of times that positivity will override that negativity. And that's one of the things that help me in my approaches in day-to-day relations. I don't actually view GACALLS as a job. I don't think it should be compared to other jobs. It's more like AA classes with wages. It's more like AA classes with wages. So, it's unique because it is actually a job that pays you to fix yourself. If I had to say anything, I recommend GACALLS for not just people incarcerated, but for people who are mentally incarcerated, because it is a program that helps people, and I believe that this is an opportunity that should spread to several people, because environments are full of those who are mentally incarcerated, and they actually need help with seeing that the problem relies in themselves, and this job helps point that out. So I actually believe that this right here should expand wider than just incarcerated people as far as physically, because there are a lot of people who are already on the outside that are mentally inside.